Am I offended by what Grant Cardone said about how he markets to black people? What's up? It's your man Earl, Batman Stringer. Now, a few weeks ago, Grant Cardone got into a little bit of trouble when it comes to his marketing practices. All right. So a few weeks ago, he was doing an interview with Lara Trump. And in the interview, they was talking about how he markets, how he likes to promote and whatever. And in that interview, he says, you know, when I do the ads where, I got to be on the Lamborghini or the expensive cars or the flashy watches and the private planes, man, I really cringe at that. But, I got to do that to appeal to my, certain demographics, right? So basically what he was saying was, he does these types of ads to appeal to black people, right? So then he goes on to say, if I was talking to a older white man, I would talk to him one way. But if I was to talk to a younger black person, I gotta talk to them another way, right? Now look, I don't have a problem with that. I get that. I mean, that's what marketing is all about, right? You got different demographics. You got to appeal to every, demographic, whether it's black, white, women, whatever it is. So I get that. I ain't got no problem with that. That's cool, right? But where things get a little dicey, right, is when he says, he continued to go and says, look, because if I'm talking to a black guy, a young black guy, I gotta, I can't use big words, right? I gotta keep it real tight, right? Basically saying, I gotta dumb it the hell down. I gotta really talk slow. I can't use magnificent words, right? And that's the part that's kind of like, damn, Grant. Now, it's one thing to actually, think that and feel that way. Because, everybody got their own little opinions, right? But it's another thing to be kind of so naive to what's going on, or, that you don't realize what you're saying and how bad that sounds. Whether your intentions are another way, but it just sounds real bad when you put it like that, right? Because I ain't gonna lie, I've been following Grant Cardone for years. Like, I'm well aware who he is. He's a successful multi-millionaire. He says he's a billionaire. He's hard in the real estate and has all these other little courses and training programs. So I pretty much like Grant Cardone, right? I usually watch him for like motivation to see how hard he goes, you know what I'm saying, to achieve his goals. That's what I usually watch Grant Cardone for. But I've always kind of felt like he tries to be cool, right? When he's around like black people, when he's talking to like black people in interviews, he tries to use that, slang. He tries to come across like you don't really know what you're talking about, but you're trying to be cool, right? Like when certain interviews, he'd be like, come on, man. Like I'm from the streets, man. Like, come on, man. I know what it is, brother. Come on, man. And I watched that, and I could be wrong, but I've always come across like, come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're trying too hard. You know what I mean? So I don't have a problem, even with that. I don't have a problem, with him trying to come across cool and not really working. But it's the fact that all the other stuff you're saying is like part of the act is like, I gotta really be dumb because this is the only way a black person can understand what I'm saying, is if I just dumb it down completely. And that's the part where I'm like, it's a difference between, using slang, right, and then being completely dumb, right? Like, I know a lot of stuff about marketing, about working out, about music, and I can talk slang all day, right? I can talk, that hip, whatever. I talk that talk. But I still know a lot of stuff. Like, I can talk about SEO, YouTube optimization, landing pages, and all of that stuff. Like, I can go with anybody, right? So if Grant Cardone met me, he'd be like, oh, so you do marketing, right, brother? Oh, that's cool, my man. All right, I feel you. Okay, look here, Earl. Can you make a page on the internet where people can go and click on things? Like, that's like, that's how Grant Cardone, like, that's how he got to talk to black people. right? You know, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not really too bothered by that, mainly because I feel like he kind of comes across like that anyway. And I haven't bought any of his programs or courses or anything like that. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Now, to close this up, you know, do I feel like Grant Cardone is a racist? Do I feel like he don't like black people? Nope. I think he don't got a problem with black people. I think Grant Cardone is mainly about one color, and that's green. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think he cool. I think he'd be cool with anybody if he feels like, you know, he can sell them something, or, you know, he can buy something off of them that can help him in his business. I think he's all about green. But what I will say is, I do feel like he do think, you know, like, you know, white people are more superior, they're more educated, whatever. And I do believe he thinks that black people, for the majority, are kind of dumb. I mean, whether he believes that or not, I mean, that's kind of how he came across in that interview. But do I think he's a complete racist? Probably not. So comment below, let me know what you think about Grant Cardone's marketing to black people. Now I know all the racist people are going to have a field day with this.